Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth and righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahushai shall arise first. To the sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers out here risking our lives to teach this word. And always commemorate the sister who washed Yahushua feet in the scriptures. I wanted to talk to y'all about, I want to circle back to my previous conversation to y'all about alcoholism, because I think that alcohol is a very tricky subject among Israelites, because the only legal substance abuse, and I'm talking about legal as far as Levitical, you know, you can take edibles and things like that, but taking edibles, I think doesn't hurt you like alcohol does. And so I think that because it's the only quote unquote mind-altering substance we can take, or the only substance that we are allowed to take until recent times, because edibles is something new. It was illegal until recently. I mean, within the past, I'd say 5 or 6 years, I think that's when they legalized it. But alcohol has been here and legal since a long time. So, especially because the scriptures mention it by name. So, you know, here and there. In some cases, it tells you that, yeah, it's perfectly lawful to drink. But some cases, it tells you to be careful of the intake. And there's no rule of thumb that's clear cut, other than, you know, moderation, other than, you know, it does talk about men being drunkards, but it doesn't say, oh, you can't take more than 10 shots or 15 shots. Now, me being a brother who has drank every day, except for the Day of Atonement, every year, for the past 13 years and probably even beyond that. Me being a brother who deals with a lot of shit in his personal life, whether it's friends and family members or the job, I have been a huge alcoholic. I mean, shit. I used to kill shots of Hennessy like you wouldn't fucking believe. And then, you know, I realized, like, okay, vodka is probably the best way to go if I want to drink every day. So I started drinking every day. I started drinking shots of vodka or drinks of vodka. And y'all know about my concerts when I go to Atlantic City or when I go to South Jersey. You know, I take a 20-ounce empty Snapple bottle and fill it up with Hennessy and drink and sing and rap till my heart is content. But as I've gotten older, I realized that there's consequences that I've been going through even when I was younger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm in the 4th. I got to get in the 5th. Okay. Salak. And why am I talking to y'all about this? Is because I don't want somebody else to be the next Shai. I don't want another brother. If I'm going through the consequences of being an alcoholic, I don't want somebody else to. I want one of you other brothers, a few of you other brothers, to look at you know, what I've done, because I haven't really suffered too much. Well, I have. When I drink, sometimes I blurt out shit that I shouldn't say. Sometimes I talk too much. Sometimes I give too much information, or sometimes I become not violent, but I become a little bit of an asshole when I'm drunk. And I misrepresent myself. Just about, I'd say about 90% of the things that I've done wrong in my life came as a result of alcohol. The night that I called my baby mother a bitch, and she came to get her bassinet, and I stacked it neatly outside my apartment building, but she thought that I just threw my daughter's bassinet and things outside when I stacked it up neatly. That was alcohol related. I was drunk when I called her a bitch, and I was drunk when I thought that it was a good idea to put her things outside, not meaning like I'm throwing it out, but kind of, I don't want to be here when you come here because you may take a swing on me, and that's the one exception I make about hitting women. If a woman hit me, you getting your jaw cracked. You can talk, you can say whatever. Once you put hands on a nigga, all bets are off. But that was my thinking because I was drunk. You know, a lot of times I've embarrassed myself. I've been in the, you know, I fell asleep in clubs or bars. You know, I've broken into tears because I was drunk. I've embarrassed myself many times because I was drunk. And I'm telling y'all this because I don't want y'all to embarrass yourselves the same way I have. I don't want y'all to embarrass yourselves the same way I've embarrassed myself because I had way too much liquor. And what tricks me is my ability to still function. Drunk is all hell. I mean, I had one time where I took a trip. I went to a funeral that day. And that night, like, the funeral was in South Jersey, all the way by Atlantic City. And I had to take 3 brothers home that night. Pause. Well, 2 brothers I took to Newark Penn Station. 1 brother lives in the part of Elizabeth that's right by Kane University. I took everybody to where I agreed to take them with no problem. And 3 of the people in the car, me included, were killing the big half-gallon of Tito's. Think about drinking all that liquor and still making it to where you got to go to safe. There's no consequence other than the embarrassment of what might come out of my mouth, pause, when I'm that drunk. And I have to also realize that for brothers around me, I may be an example of something wrong. Because brothers around me might be like, yo, Shah's a functioning alcoholic. He can drink liquor. He can get fucked up and show up to work the next day like nothing ever happened. And then it got to the point where I was making mistakes at the job that I would only make if I'm drunk, but I'm not drunk. I'm at the job bright and early in the morning. And I realized that even when I'm sober, I don't have the control over myself that I would have had if I wasn't drinking constantly. Because then when you drink like I was drinking, what tends to happen is, I mean, I don't know the science of it, but sober, I was doing dumb shit that I just wasn't accustomed to doing. So I say that because I don't want to be the example to brothers and say, hey, well, he drinks so much alcohol and you might not have the same physical composition that I do. You might not have the ability to put away liquor like I do. You might catch either cirrhosis of the liver or some other bodily failure before I do. Or you might not do the extra stuff that I do to stay healthy while you're drinking, or at least relatively healthy. Like drink water with lemon. That doesn't save my life. Well, it might postpone whatever can happen to me because of the drinking. Drink water with lemon, all the herbs that I take. You know, the dandelion root, all, you know, the oil of oregano that's in this teacup right here. You know? All the stuff that I do, you might not think to do all that. Or you might could do it, but maybe the alcohol affects your body a different way than it affects me. See, that's why the scriptures tell you wine is a mocker. And then I forgot what it said right after that about alcohol, a strong drink. But strong drink is raging. Like, I think that's what it says. It's raging. The anger that I go through when I'm drinking strong drink is insane. The emotional shit that I go through. You know, the things that I think about. You know, when you drink and you overindulge, you become like a different person. Some people become violent. I don't become violent. I become emotional. You know, and then what another thing, and listen, this video is going to be packed with things that you need to watch out for. You're going to, when you put away as much liquor as I do, you're going to get a lot of compliments. Like, that's a good talent to have, to be able to take so many shots and still walk out, go in your car and drive home. You know, and you might drive laser focused, you might be straight, but you might influence another brother. Yo, hey, Shad gets plastered and gets home safe even when his drive is an hour long. You could go all the way back from Atlantic City and drive straight. Actually, you know what? Part of the reason why I am so confident, or have been so confident driving drunk, is a good friend of mine. I won't mention him by name. We used to go to the bar all the time, and he used to put away just about as much liquor as I did and drive home safe. So it became my talent. Now, okay, I can drink liquor and get absolutely plastered and get home safe. One time I remember I drove from Rahway to Newark. I'll never forget this. I drove from Rahway to Newark, and when I tell you I was plastered, I could only see out of one eye, and that eye was half closed. And I got home with no problem. Don't know how I did it. But while some of you might be looking at me like I'm some fucking strong nigga or whatever, that was fucking stupid. That was fucking stupid. I think that I'm still suffering from a lot of the drinking, because I wake up and I don't know, in my breath I still, like, it almost feels like I still got liquor in my system. Now I went from drinking 7 nights a week to 2 nights a week. And if it's a really tough day, if it's a really difficult day, if it's one of those days where I need something to take the edge off, I'll just drink a glass of wine. Not a glass, but a whole cup, right? And that's it. I won't do no more. That's what I did last night. If I don't drink no liquor at all, I take melatonin. Because another thing to watch out for when you're a recovering alcoholic, because for the longest I was like, yo, I can't stop drinking because now I don't sleep. Even to this day, last night I fell asleep past 12 o'clock midnight to wake up 6 in the morning. And it doesn't help that I live in a fucking ghetto apartment complex with people that seem to think that it's okay to move in at 3 in the morning, 3:45 in the fucking morning, making noise and shit. You know, so for that, thanks to the Elder Atazawam, and a couple people also made this suggestion, but I listen more to Elder Atazawam because he's an elder in the faith. You know, he told me he takes something, or I don't know if he takes it, but he definitely suggested melatonin. And when I don't drink anything, it does do the trick. I mean, I took melatonin and it put me out within half an hour. It put me out within half an hour. And it was crazy because I was watching a movie that I really wanted to watch, and no, that shit put me out. You know what I mean? So, you know, these are things to think about when dealing with alcoholism, because trust me, being a Hebrew Israelite, after a little bit in the truth, when you find out what you can and can't take, okay, I can't take Molly, I can't take Adderall, I can't take shit, what else? Adderall, this other shit, I keep forgetting the names of them shits. Molly, Adderall, Percocets, codeine and all that shit. Like, I can't take all that. You know, we don't sniff cocaine, we don't take heroin, we don't smoke weed. So it's gonna push you towards alcohol if you are a person that needs some type of substance to kind of assist you with either your mental health, which that's my issue. You know, a lot of times liquor keeps you from thinking rationally, because thinking rationally, you're also thinking about all the bad things that people do to you. And I'm telling y'all this, you know, because I've gone through it. That's why do you think somebody like me would drink liquor the way I do? I don't have a low self-esteem. I'm doing pretty okay in life. Why do you think somebody like me does drink so much fucking liquor, or used to? Because people aggravate the shit out of me. And when I say people, I'm talking about people that you either see in my fucking Instagram page, or sometimes people that I work with. You know, there's no shortage of people that piss me off in life. You know, especially when you're in the truth and you know what the right way is, and you see so many people doing everything in life the wrong way. You know that things have to be done a certain way, and okay, you got to be honest here, you know. So the person that's being dishonest, you look at them with so much fucking contempt. Like, why are you doing this? You know, when you're in the truth, you don't borrow money from people, because you know that the scriptures tell you, oh no man. But damn if motherfuckers don't borrow money from you, or try to. You know, so you have to be, I'm telling you, liquor is that Damon, right? Like you saw, those of you, or Damien, right? Like DMX. He made that song Damien. Liquor is that fucking bad alternative to the bad thing. You're going through bad things, so you're looking at something that to kind of take the edge off, right? You're looking for something to help you not think these thoughts the way you're thinking them, right? Or maybe to get over shit, get over a breakup, get over a bad fallout with a brother, you know, or baby mother, whatever you got going in your life, whatever people that you got, you know, you take a substance. And like I said, when you're an Israelite, all roads lead to alcohol. There is nothing else that you can really take substance-wise that's lawful. The problem is when you take too much liquor, it becomes unlawful. Just because Noah got drunk one time, that justifies your drinking 100,000 times. No. You have to be very careful. It's very tricky, man. It's very tricky. Don't let alcohol control you. I'm telling you, it's no good. I'm not telling you to quit, because I have not quit. I love that feeling, right? That loose feeling, like, okay, you know, my baby mother this week was like, oh, you're addicted to alcohol. I was like, you know, I mean, she could be right, but the way I look at it is, if I arbitrarily went from 7 days a week to 2 days a week, but she says, oh, because those 2 days a week you're still drinking home alone. You know, whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't know, maybe she's right, but I'll say this. If you can't reduce your drinking, nigga, you need some type of you need prayer, definitely, but you might need some more, like something else. You might need to take some type of herb that's going to detox you from liquor. Which, you know what, Lord willing, I'm gonna see if there's something that can help you detox from liquor. But if your life starts to disgust you, if you start embarrassing yourself because of liquor, like you know that movie Star is Born. Y'all know that I hate using movies to reference true things, but there was a scene where they were on stage. The man's wife was accepting an award and he pissed on himself on stage, right? If that happens to you, if you piss on yourself, like, yo, you have to get it under control, man. You have to get it under control. And I can't tell you how to do it. I can tell you what I've done, but maybe I have a different level of addiction. Maybe I'm not addicted. You know, maybe I'm just less addicted. Maybe I just look at it like, hey, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just drink on Saturday and Friday. You know, or when I go on this cruise, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I have a different level of control over it. If you have less control than I do suggest you you see somebody. You know, maybe go on Grassroots Botanicals and call the number and talk to the herbalist and get some type of recommendation. You know, change your fucking diet, do something different. You know, but alcohol makes you unhealthy. I'll tell y'all, man, I suffer the consequences of alcoholism in ways that don't show up on camera. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all, since I slowed down drinking, my daughter's grandmother the other day told me, oh my gosh, you look so much better. Your daughter's even gonna see the difference. I don't know. To me, I look the same, but a lot of people have told me ever since you made the decision to chill with the drinking, you look different. So if you're dealing with alcoholism and you're overindulging in alcohol, one thing I need you to know is you're killing yourself. You're making yourself look different. I'm telling y'all, out of love and out of not wanting y'all to, just the very fact that I embarrassed myself so much when I've been drunk. The embarrassment of things that I've done or things that I say to people just because I'm fucking drunk and don't have the filter and the control that I have over myself. The friendships that I've that I've lost. I'm telling y'all, out of love, y'all brother Yeshaya is telling y'all, if you have an alcohol addiction or you drink a lot, try to drink less. I'm telling you. You don't want to be like what I am, the bad example. You don't want to be the nigga who's like, yeah, well, Shah can put away a ton of alcohol. Maybe I could. Because that blood, let's say I can do it, but you can't, but I make you feel that you can do it. I'm making you feel that you can do it. Something happens to you, the blood is on my hands. The blood is on my hands. I'm now the reason why you felt that you can drink tons of alcohol and suffer no consequences. So what about you that's not affected by me, but you're the one that's affecting others? Or what if you are affected by me, you don't have consequences, but then brothers around you are drinking alcohol like crazy, thinking that they're not going to suffer the consequences too. And then they get into a fucking car accident and hurt somebody or hurt themselves. That blood is not only on you, but it's also on me. I don't want blood on my hands. You shouldn't want blood on your hand. Trust me, this thing that I'm telling you about slowing down on alcohol, because the scriptures do tell you it's lawful to drink it, but don't go crazy. Because the scriptures also tell you that you can't defile your body. You are a physical church. What's the reason why brothers don't smoke cigarettes or cigars or weed? What's the reason why brothers watch what they eat? Because your body should be holy, right? If you're overindulging in alcohol, you might as well smoke cigarettes. If you're overindulging in alcohol, what's the difference between the damage you're doing to your body by smoking cigarettes and the damage that you're doing to your body by drinking alcohol? Or at least without moderation. What are you doing different? You might as well. You're not doing nothing different in either case. So fuck it. Either slow down your alcohol intake severely, and then I'm gonna tell you something. I don't miss it. I don't miss the alcohol. Maybe it's because, like I said, I'm not as addicted as I thought I was. But I don't miss. Last night I was like, yo, you know what? I just need to get sleepy. So and it was a tough day yesterday. So I had me a cup of wine. I mellowed out. Eventually I went to sleep. If I would have took melatonin, I would have been out earlier. But the truth of the matter is, I feel a lot better. I don't wake up sluggish as often as I did when I was drinking alcohol. I've immediately improved my life by not drinking alcohol. So with that, I hope that you brothers take heed, because this is really an I care about you thing. This is really, y'all are my family, my brothers. And I hope that this helps somebody. Because being a damn fucking fall down drunk is not a joke. It's embarrassing as fuck. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. But with that, I'm going to say shalom.